Toby, are we good to go?
Yes, please. We are good.
All right. Are we recording?
Yes, you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. I think we have 27 people on the stream now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Good to have you on the live stream today, Easter Saturday. I'm sure you guys have been having a remarkably amazing weekend. I mean, since Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's been a long holiday for many of us, and for some of us, it's just getting started. Public holiday on Monday in Nigeria, and of course, long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in all over the Western countries. It's such an great opportunity to be here again to have this section. Today, we're going to be having a very, very interesting topic about Canadian immigration. And of course, for our focus for today is going to be for internationally educated nurses from Nigeria. I'm very, very sure most of us have seen lots and lots of updates, information, and latest development from various provinces in Canada regarding nursing immigration, regarding improving workforce. And today, I just felt like it's very, very important that we're able to show us some of the ways we could actually maximize from these opportunities. I mean, some of us might actually just get to see this update, but we might not have the practical insight on how to navigate many of these opportunities. So today I'm going to be helping to share some of the updates, shed more light to some of the information, and of course ensure that we're able to maximize these opportunities. And of course, be in Canada, I mean, in the shortest possible time. I mean, that's the overall goal. Nurses in Nigeria deserve to explore international opportunities. Nurses all over the world, in fact, deserve to explore international opportunities. And of course, Canada is one of those countries where we could actually maximize our potentials and explore opportunities. My name, for those who already know me already, my name is Prince Will Agado, and I'll be presenting on behalf of Empower Nurses Consult. Empower Nurses Consult is a human capital development organization focused on creating interactive, engaging, and intellectually stimulating programs, events, and training to empower nurses across every level of the development. Today, we're going to be having the masterclass, a workshop, or webinar, whatever you want to call it. Basically, as you can see on the screen, for internationally educated nurses and how to support nurses to navigate these opportunities from work permit to the Alberta Healthcare Program and, of course, Nova Scotia program in general. For today's presentation, I'm going to be using the PowerPoint slide presentation just to illustrate some points and, of course, to be much more practical and precise in sharing this information with you. I'm sure you can all hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, please let me see you on the comment section. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear, please. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Priska said I can't hear anything. Toby, is that the case in your end?
I can hear you clearly from here.
Oh, okay, all right. So let's put on the chat box. Okay, all right. Yeah, we can. Yes, I can hear you. All right, that's fine. We can hear us. That's beautiful. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to be making this presentation via PowerPoint. And all right, loud and clear. Thank you so much. Loud and clear. Thank you so much. Loud and clear. Thank you. All right. So, for today's presentation content, we're going to be having discussion around latest employability trends for internationally educated nurses. Looking forward to explore opportunities in Canada. We're also going to be looking at work permit for IENs from Nigeria. Whenever you hear the term IENs means internationally educated nurses, meaning any nurse that is educated outside of Canada and, of course, looking forward to migrate or to get registered as a nurse in Canada. Navigating Alberta Health Service Program. I'm sure many of us have had update about Alberta Healthcare Service, the sponsorship program that has been launched, the pilot one. And of course, many people have been receiving positive feedback from that pilot program. And of course, we're also going to be having an opportunity to have a general discussion, open-ended questions, close-ended questions. You'll be able to ask me at the end of this program. All right, and just a quick disclaimer. Basically, I'm not a registered licensed immigration consultant. Every information I'm going to be sharing with you or with us on the platform today is solely based on research that are accessible on open website from the Canada government, from Ontario government, from Alberta government, and of course, this information are well for us to access. And whatever information you're going to be getting from here today, please do not take it as an ultimatum, as the final information. You are free to actually go back to make exclusive research into whatever we're going to discuss here today. And of course, feel free to challenge any opinion via the chat box and the question and answer segment. All right, so move straight up to business. Estimated time for this presentation should be 90 minutes. That's 1 hour, 30 minutes. I hope we finish early anyway, so that we can go have some rest because it's already 6 p.m. in Nigeria. Yeah. So yeah, let's get straight to business, right? Abata Health Service Pilot Program. I want to start from Abata Health Service Pilot Program because I think this is one area that many of us as nurses should actually look forward to navigate. All right, for the Abata Health Service Program, it was actually a program introduced by the government of Abata. So Abata, like we all know, or we do, if we do not know, is actually a state or a province in Canada. In Canada, we have 10 provinces and 3 territories. So provinces are like what we call states. When you have places like Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, Manitoba, British Columbia, and a lot of those. So basically, those are like Saskatchewan. Those are like states in New Brunswick. Those are Newfoundland, New Brunswick. Those are states and territories around Canada. So Alberta is actually one of those many states and provinces in Canada. So for Alberta, they are officially the first province that's actually coming out to say we are supporting internationally educated nurses who are not in Canada to actually move in and get registered in Canada. Just like the way in England, where a nurse from Nigeria, from Pakistan, from Nepal can actually get a job offer with NHS, you get a certificate of sponsorship, and you get a tier 2 visa. You are working and you already have your licensure after your OSCE exam. So this is actually an idea that the Alberta Health Service Program is actually considering. And today we're going to be talking in depth about it, how to apply step by step, document required, and of course, frequently asked questions about Abata Health Service Program. Before we go into the service program, let's talk about Abata and Elichu. Most of the beautiful pictures you've seen online on social media, but from Canada, usually come from Abata. Abata is one of the most chill place for people to settle, especially as an international immigrant, as a new immigrant. Like in terms of weather condition, those of us coming from Nigeria, we are used to sun, we're used to the climate from sun. And it's very, very important that, okay, you go to a province where you don't start getting cold or start looking for having experience challenges in adapting to unfavorable weather conditions. So Abata, in terms of the climate, they have lengthy sunshine, okay? They have lengthy sunshine spanning around the summer period. They have one of the most lengthiest sunshine across Canada. And of course, when you talk about tax, yeah, a lot of people come aboard and be like, okay, I'm earning salary, but I'm not getting as much net income as I require. My gross income is fine, but after tax, I get up with nothing. For example, provinces get up to 19% of tax for in Ontario, for instance, but in Alberta, the Alberta tax is actually way cheaper than many other provinces in Canada. So that's another reason why many people actually go to Alberta. They have low tax, and the funding required to buy a house or to get a mortgage is actually very less as well compared to other provinces like Ontario. In terms of community, they have a diverse community. We have the Indian community, Pakistan community, the Filipino community, the Nigerian community, and of course the Afro-Caribbean community is there as well. So your ability for community integration and for you to be able to acclimatize with the environment would definitely be facilitated by the communities you find around you. As individuals, we need community to be able to integrate and, of course, to be able to promote our culture and to feel a sense of cordial relationship built around different people. All right. So now we're talking about the Habata Health Service Program in full. And like For some of us, this might be the first time we're going to hear about the Abata Health Service Program. But for many of us who have been on some of our platform, we know that the Abata Health Service Program has been alive since this year, 2023. So people have applied since February, since March, since April, and we've gotten lots and lots of positive feedback. Like people are getting positive feedback for the Abata Health Service Program. I mean, I'm going to share some of the testimonials with you on the slide. As you can see for this person, this was sent on Thursday. Good evening, boss. I applied for the Abata International Nurses Talent Pool. I just got a message that I'm shortlisted. Can you be that? So people are getting shortlisted. I mean, to be shortlisted basically means that you are going to get full sponsorship. If you are shortlisted and you're able to meet other requirements like passing the medical examination, getting your police report, at the end of the day, I mean, the first part for any recruitment process to be successful is for you to be able to scale through the application. Like, oh, you submit your CV, you've been called, and of course, you're shortlisted to be among those to be interviewed or to be recruited into a pool. So we have people getting shortlisted into the Abata Health Service Program, and that's from one of my mentee, Prodigy, on my WhatsApp group. And we have another one here. So good evening, sir. I'm here to testify too, because I shared some of the testimonials on our group, and a lot of people like, I forgot to tell you, Prince Will. Me too. I got shortlisted too as well. So good evening, sir. I'm here to testify to apply for the Abata Pilot Program in February, and currently I'm at the stage of NNAS and CRA assessment. For you to get to this stage, it means that your documentation have been vetted and the recruiting and hiring professional are happy that you can make a good nurse in Abata. So, like you said, I'm really, really grateful. So we have feedback coming from people who have been able to maximize the opportunity we shared on our platform, and of course, our open and closed mentorship program to nurses across Nigeria. We can see another one too. It says, good afternoon, boss. Thank you for all you do. Please, I have been shortlisted too. And she sent me a screenshot of the first page of the application as well. So guys, this is not, they're just saying it doesn't work. Guys, it works. People are going to be arriving Canada from Christmas, and they're going to be having a white Christmas in the snow. So guys, we have to take advantage of this opportunity and grab it while it is hot. Okay, as you can also see, good afternoon, boss. I applied for the partner service program and I got shortlisted. Lots and lots, you can see them, lots and lots of people on my DM. I mean, just yesterday, I had like 10 people across Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter that had messaged me that said, okay, Prince Will, I got this job, I got the invitation, I got shortlisted and everything. So we got a lot of people coming in to testify, as you can see. So so for the Abata Health Service Program, I didn't know until today that when you're streaming with StreamYard, it's not compatible with PowerPoint for some of the features. For example, for this frequently asked question, I'd actually programmed my PowerPoint presentation to only show each question per time. Like for example, in this slide, you're only supposed to see who should apply. That's what you're supposed to see first. But I mean, I don't think it's compatible with StreamYard, so the entire questions are just there. And for me, I think it's boring. I don't like that type of presentation, but we just have to manage it. The most important part is that we get the information at the end of the day. Okay, so some of the frequently asked questions. I actually had to today I just have to wake up and just put some questions together so that we'll be able to have less question during the question and answer segment. I'm optimistic that during this program or during this presentation, we'll be able to at least get answers to the vast majority of those that are supposed to ask questions today. So the first question is, who can apply for the Abata Health Service Program? Who can apply for the Abata Health Service Program? And simply the answer is every registered nurse from outside Canada can actually apply, as long as you have a valid practicing license and or a degree in nursing. So the first qualification is that you must be a registered nurse. So what this means is that if you are a student nurse, if you are a nurse currently doing internship, if you are a nurse that do not have a permanent license, for example, you are doing your NYC, you don't have your license yet, you are not entitled to apply for this job. Okay, you must be a registered nurse. you must be a licensed nurse, and of course, you must have an active registration in your home country for you to be able to apply. I'm sure the only group that this might not favor are those who are still in school of nursing or those who are currently undergoing the compulsory 1 year internship in Nigeria. All right, so that's for those that can apply. All right. And meanwhile, at some point, Toby is going to tell you. I think maybe Toby can add it on the school message. How can they channel their questions so that, I mean, once I'm making the presentation, if anybody have any question, they just send it directly to the question and answer box, and I'll be able to see it for me so that I can take the question as it proceeds. Because we're going to be having a Bata, Ontario, then the work permit. So we don't have to start answering Abata questions during the work permit or Ontario questions during the Abata presentation. So Toby, we're going to show you how to. Toby can put it on the chat box, and you're going to see how to send in your questions. All right, I can see some questions here already. Okay, so that's fine. So yeah, is English proficiency required for the Abata Health Service Program? Again, please listen and listen very clearly. For English proficiency, it is required, but it could actually be waived. All right, it could be waived, meaning that you might not be compelled to actually write the exam if you meet some condition. The first condition is that, number one, if you graduated from a school or degree program in nursing in the last 2 years, automatically your English requirement can be accepted. Automatically, there will be no need, or there might be no need for you to take any English proficiency exam. So let's say, for example, you finished from University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in 2021, October, and this is April 2023. So meaning that in the last 2 years, you actually completed a nursing degree, and you can actually use that as an advantage to waive the IELTS English examination. Option number two for you to waive the English exam is if you have been practicing in an English-speaking country for the past 3 years. Okay, so if you have been speaking in an English-speaking country for the past year, for example, you're coming from Ireland, you're coming from Nigeria, United States of America, Australia, and you can show evidence that your practice, your curriculum, your work experience was actually in English language, then you are definitely exempted from taking all of the English exam. I think if we look at those two requirements, almost 90% of people on this space tonight, or on this stream, could actually meet that requirement, because I mean, many of us graduated 2 years ago. Some of us have been working. I mean, nurses work with their licensure, so most of our registration are pretty active. So that might be a good opportunity for you to waive the exam. But it is not you who will decide whether or not to take the exam. It is only on completion of the assessment form, the application form, and you put there, okay, I graduated 2 years ago, or I've been working in an English-speaking country 2 years ago. So sometimes the assessor might say, okay, I don't think I'm convinced. Please, you need to take the English exam. But most times they're not going to ask you that. If you can show that, okay, you worked for the past 3 years, and of course you schooled 2 years ago, most likely it's going to be waived. So that's official. It's on the official Abata Health Service website like that. All right. So but if you do not meet any of those two conditions, this is the English requirement. Number one, the exam you need to take is the IELTS Academic. Okay, guys, IELTS Academic exam. So you should have at least a minimum band score of 7 in listening, 7 in speaking, 6.5 in reading, 6.5 in writing. Okay, I'm sure you can see that loud and clear. 7 in reading, 7 in listening, 7 in speaking, 6.5 in writing, and 6.5 in reading. Okay, so if you do not want to take the IELTS exam, there's an alternative examination that you can take, and it is called the Cell-bound examination. All right, the exam can actually be taken in Nigeria, and it currently costs 395 Canadian dollars, which is around let's say around 200,000. Okay, so you can take a Cell-bound exam. The good thing about the Cell-bound exam is that if you take a Cell-bound exam, it is perceived that it is much more easier to pass than the IELTS Academic. And if you take the Cell-bound exam, you are going to be reimbursed. Okay, so let's say, for example, you paid your $295 for the Cell-bound examination, As long as you are applying through this Abata Health Service Program and you have the receipt of payment for the English exam, your fund will be refunded back to you. But you're not going to get a refund if you take the IELTS exam. You can only get a refund if you take the CELBAN exam, and that is because Abata Health Service have an active collaboration with CELBAN. Okay, they have an active collaboration or a memorandum of understanding with CELBAN, and I'm not sure they have with IELTS at this time. All right, so you're going to get a refund if you write the CELBAN exam, but you have to pay first from your card, from your debit or credit card. You have to pay first. After you make the payment, they're going to refund back to your CELBAN examination to you. Yeah. So is NCLEX required for this process? Okay. Is it compulsory that I must pass NCLEX exam before I'm asked to get employment with the Abata Health Service? So number one, according to the document published by Abata Health Service Program, for individuals who do not have NCLEX center in their countries, okay, for individuals who do not have NCLEX centers in their country, please, you are expected to reach out to the email above. Okay, the email is ien.acno@ahs.ca. So if you've not taken NCLEX, that is not a problem. Just tell them that, okay, I'm from Nigeria. There are no NCLEX centers in Nigeria, and I would like to know what next to do. So just simply send an email to ien.acno@ahs.ca, and they're going to tell you how they're going to have a system to actually support you when you actually arrive Canada to take the NCLEX examination. So yeah, so for those who have NCLEX already from Nigeria, that's the greater advantage because you're going to get RON licensure most likely. But if you do not write NCLEX exam, you're going to get like a temporary permit where you're going to be working like a temporary license. You're going to be working like a GN, which is called grad nurse in Abata, after going through some training and of course some practical development series. Okay, so what visa will I get if I come to this pathway? What visa will I get, guys? So if you're coming to the Abata Health Service Pilot Program, you are going to get a work visa. Okay, you're going to get a work visa. That's like a permit to be able to work, meaning you have a residential, you have what they call the residential permit in Canada, all right, to in Abata specifically. Thank you for putting that up, Toby. So you're going to get a work permit for just like the same work permit that people get in England with their Tier 2 sponsorship. Okay, I mean, you get work permit in England, you can work. But the one with Abata is that if you get the work permit with Abata, you can only work with Abata Health Service Program for the duration of contract period that you signed. So you have to think about that critically. So yeah, you can get a work visa coming to Abata. Then number 5, can I come with my family? If you are shortlisted, you are definitely able to come with your family. Okay, as long as you can show evidence that of ties to your family members, you definitely can come with your family. So if you come with your family, your husband will most likely get an open work permit, and your children will get a study permit if they're under 18 years of age as well. So yes, you can come with your family. There's no visa restriction for individuals to not come with their family. It's just a matter of discretion for you as an investor. Okay, should I just bring my family at the first instance, or I should wait for a while and assess the situation before I bring my family? So it's something that it is left for you to think about. If you want to bring your family at once, or you want to wait for some time, probably after 3 months, 6 months, you assess the situation before you can actually introduce your family to this new environment. Okay, so will there be accommodation? Will they be providing accommodation just like in England as well in NHS? They provide accommodation for you for a period of sometimes 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, until you pass the objective structural clinical exam, popularly referred to as OSCE. So after the OSCE exam, you can then get your own apartment, because by then you expect to have become a band 5 nurse and you have a pay rise. Because as an entry level professional in England, you basically work as band 3 or as a band 4. So, but for Canada, you're going to be getting, if you're following through the Abata Health Service Pilot Program, you're going to get 3 months accommodation. 3 months accommodation, and that's basically sponsored by the government of Alberta. Okay, so you're going to get 3 months accommodation sponsored by the government of Alberta. I mean, that's a big one. You should be clapping for Alberta right now because, I mean, he's one of a kind. Yeah, you're going to get the 3 months accommodation, but that accommodation is for you as a principal applicant. So if you have a husband, and if you have a husband and you have 4 children, you might not want to expect a Alberta Health Service to now start looking for 3-bedroom apartment or 3-bedroom flat for you. But they can actually provide apartment and accommodation for the principal applicant. The principal applicant is the individual who is receiving the sponsorship. Whoever is coming along with you, your husband or your kids, those are dependent. You are not, they do not have any contract with a Alberta Health Service. It is you, the principal applicant, that have contract with Alberta Health Service. Okay. So which of the IELTS? It's academic, right? We mentioned that already. Okay, so can I come with family? We've talked about that. Accommodation provided, yes, 3 months. How long will the process take? All right. So someone said England is band 5. Of course, England is band 5. I don't know why. Is that a question or something? I said if you come into England as a nurse, you don't work as a band 5 immediately. You work either as a band 4, as a band 3. Then after you pass your OSCE exam, you work as a band 5. You hardly find anybody that come to England and start working as a band 5 immediately, unless they pass the OSCE exam from Nigeria. So you're going to start working as a band 4 or band 3 as a clinical support worker sometimes, band 4. Or if you work as a band 5, you're not a full band 5 staff, you're definitely going to be on supernumerary. So that's that for England. Yeah. So yeah, how long will the process take? So according to Alberta Health Service registration guideline, the total estimated period for individual is 2 months to 8 months. All right. I think it is a good news because it's almost the same time it takes for one to apply for permanent residency via the express entry program. 2 to 8 months, it's a very good time if you ask me, for anybody coming from Nigeria to actually access or navigate this opportunity. All right. So yeah, 2 to 8 months is an estimated period to actually navigate this opportunity. So, like I said, if those are starting the process in March, in February, they are most likely going to experience their first white Christmas in Alberta, Canada in 2023, and they're going to sing and dance in the snow. All right. So, any age requirement for this program? From the registration portal, from the information guideline available to the public, there's no place that you've been asked to actually input your age. Okay, from the application form to the registration document, there's no place that you've been asked to input your age, because first of all, I mean, they want to follow the ethics of recruitment, right? They don't want to have any stereotypical bias for anybody because of gender, age, or nationality, right? So age at this point, it might not be a factor in general, but for you as an individual, I mean, if you are old, because coming to Canada, if you are a CNO, if you are a DDNS, if you are a director of nursing education, assistant director of nursing service, deputy director, you should assess yourself and say, okay, there's no direct pathway for you to transition to become a senior nurse or a nurse leader in Canada. You are expected to start practicing as an entry-level professional, as an entry-level nurse. So, for example, in Nigeria, what we call NO2. So, if you are a CNO in Nigeria, you are a DDNS in Nigeria, you are definitely going to start with the entry-level professional, because Canada is a new system entirely. They have their own standard operating procedure. You need cultural acclimatization to be able to navigate and integrate into the Canada healthcare system. So it's very, very important that you, if you are a nurse, you are in your 50s, your late 50s, your early 60s, nobody's going to tell you not to apply. But you are going to use your discretion and say, okay, am I prepared psychologically? Am I prepared mentally? Am I still strong? Does my occupational health and safety analysis reveal that I can actually continue to work as an entry-level nurse? Is my system fit to actually follow this process? Because We want to make sure that we give a good representation on this pilot program. So if you now come and you now apply, you are 60, you are 60, you are 61, you are 58, you are sleeping on duty. Of course, it's not a sin to sleep. The body is responding to the natural system. By 61, 62, you should be sleeping. In some countries, retirement. Okay, so if you now say, okay, you want to come because you want to leave Nigeria because of the way things are going, you have to have a psychological or mental readjustment of your expectation. You have to understand that you are going to be putting in more than what you're currently doing as a chief nursing officer. So again, there's no restriction to age. There's no restriction to where you can apply. It's just that some of you end up selling yourself for the age. Like Nigerians, we still have many Nigerians who are they still put their age on their CV. So if you go and put your age on your CV, married with 5 children, then they might be able to know that, okay, this person is actually old enough not to actually be able to cope with this job. So they're going to use their discretion to probably just advise based on the best way possible. So, but I would particularly advise you, if you know you are ready for this and you want to take up the opportunity, do not put your age on your CV. It's not a global standard to put age on CV, and definitely nobody's going to know about your age. Do I have to complete the NNAS? This is another important question. I can see the question too on the chat box, and some people have been asking, do I need to complete NNAS for a Abata Health Service Pilot Program? Guys, currently, NNAS is around $650 US dollars, and that's, if you convert it to Naira, we are looking at close to 400,000 plus. 400, close to 400,000 Naira. Guess what, guys? If you are applying under the Abata Health Service Program, automatically you're going to receive a special link to apply for your NNAS that has been paid for already. So automatically, if you are coming through this program and you shortlisted, you're going to be getting a direct link where you have a prepaid NNAS registration already for you. So meaning the $650 that people like us paid to practice nursing or to start our registration in Ontario, you guys are not going to be paying for it. And trust me, that's a big deal. And I was just like, wow, that's very interesting. So somebody's asking what's NNAS. NNAS is National Nursing Assessment Service. Is the evaluation that you need to complete for you to become a nurse in Canada. Just like in England, before you become a nurse, you must do your evaluation and verification from NMCN. So the verification you do for NMCN for UK is called NNAS in Canada. So NNAS is a process where they evaluate where you worked in Nigeria, your school of nursing, they check your transcript, the BSc program you completed, they check the transcript and curriculum, your NMCN, they verify your license, then your employers across the 5 years or 6 years you work, they verify your work history, the number of hours you work, and they give you a report based on that. All right, so that's NNAS. So guys, if you are coming through the Abata pilot program, as long as you can start the program today, I'm going to share the link today, you automatically have a prepaid link for NNAS. So you don't need to have any headache to start thinking about, okay, will I pay for NNAS or not? And trust me, again, that's a big deal. So do I have to complete my NNAS? No, just go on the Abata Service program. They're going to ask you, have you meeting your NNAS? Have you completed NNAS? Just tell them no. If you completed it, give them your ID number, and it works like that. And of course, if you started your NNAS, this is another area. If you started your NNAS, for example, you are in England, you are in USA, you are in Nigeria, you already started your NNAS, let me say last year or before the pilot program was introduced. Good news for you also, there is a link that you can use to actually see that your NNAS that you've started can be merged with this NNAS for our Abata Health Service Program. So they're going to ask you, have you started your NNAS? If you write yes, they're going to say, okay, please kindly fill this link with your NNAS ID number and registration details, so that your NNAS that you started will be automatically, the information will be transferred into the Abata Health Service Program. And guess what? This is what many people don't even know. NNAS and Abata Health Service Program, they have a collaboration, guys. And the collaboration is that they are expediting, they are facilitating the process for NNAS for Abata Health Service Program. So normally, NNAS take for some people 1 year, 2 years, 18 months, 9 months for the assessment to complete. But with Abata Health Service Program, they have a plan in place where the NNAS can be facilitated and fast-tracked just for you to come to Canada. without you involving any lawyer, without you involving any external third party. About IELTS service program, I've put in resources to be able to make sure that your NNES is fast tracked. And to me, that's a great deal for you guys. So please, again, take advantage of this. Like for me, Canada, one of the biggest mistakes I made was I came here before I started my NNES. My NNES, almost 1 year. It took me almost 1 year. So, guys, you guys are very, very lucky. I mean, with the plan they have on ground, with the shortest possible time, your NNES result, they've said it categorically that they have an active plan to see that your NNES is facilitated. They are not hiding it. And they've also come out categorically to say that your NNES has been paid for automatically. So we're going to get a prepaid voucher. Who can apply for this? So talk about NNES age requirement, and of course, these are the frequently asked questions. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you have questions on this so far. If not, we'll just move to the next slide. So the next slide basically documents required for the ABATA program. So people are like, okay, this offer looks too good to be true. What exactly do they require for us to be able to apply for the ABATA Health Service program? So number one, you must have a valid passport, okay, aka international passport. Your valid passport, your passport from Nigeria, the one that has green hardback and green backback that has your face and your date of birth and expiration date, right? You should have a passport. Note, your passport, you should have a passport of at least 3 years before expiration. So meaning your passport should probably be expiring in 2026, 2027 and beyond. Although if you have a passport that is expiring in 2 years time, that should not stop you from applying. Put in the application, and of course, as long as you have 6 months, there's no agency or immigration that will deny you visa as long as you have 6 months stamp 6 months space on your passport. It's only that you're going to be disadvantaged. For example, if you are coming to USA on the B1 visa from Canada, for example, if you're applying from India or from Canada to USA B1 visa, you can get up to 10 years. You can get up to 5 years. You can get up to 2 years. You can get up to 3 years. But if your visa now has only 1 year left, it means that you have automatically by yourself reduced your option to only get 1 year for your visitor visa. So it is you that have used your hand to do yourself. So if you have more years, the better advantage for you. So that's how that works. So number two, document you carry should have your license. Okay, you must, like I said, you must have an active registration, a valid license that can be validated from the Nursing and Midwifery Council of your home country. And of course, in Nigeria, we work with the NMCN. So your license must be valid. So if your license is expired, please do it to initiate process to complete the mandatory MCPDP programs or WA program to actually get your license on track and make your registration status active. Okay, so number three, you should have your offer letter. After you complete the process, you're going to receive an offer letter that will make you eligible to apply for work visa application. Remember, I said the visa you're going to get with this pilot program is the you're going to get a work permit. All right. So yeah, how much is NNES? We've just said that NNES is free, but if you want to do it by yourself, it's actually $650. That's 400,000 in Nigeria. Okay, so once you are shortlisted, you're going to be sent a unique form that will enable you to apply for police reports. So you're going to be getting a link to apply for police report. I mean, to apply for police report is not a big deal from Nigeria. Just like in England, you go to Alagbon police station, reach out to the police officers, and of course, you do your fingerprint, and they definitely get your police report. So from your home country that you've lived in the last 10 years, medical report, of course, the way we do for IOM2 for UK, you're definitely going to do the same for Canada. Those are things that anybody can meet the requirements, so don't be scared. And birth and marriage certificate, very, very important, because as the principal applicant, at some point, you're going to be saying that, okay, I want to come alone. But in future, my husband, who is my dependent, or my children who are my dependent, can come with me. So in that case, you expect to submit your birth and marriage certificate so that if your husband is not coming after 6 months, when they start his application for visa application, they are going to see that in your own data, you were able to you noted it there that you have a husband, that you are married. You are married or you're a legal partner. So if you are here in Nigeria and you have somebody that you are toasting that is eyeing you and you are cutting a relationship with, and you have plans to actually travel together, the most advisable thing for you is to actually go get a a court wedding certification, church wedding certification, so that you guys can automatically be verified as legal partners for that. All right. So these are things that you need to do. So now this is the A to Z process. So this is like everything that that's going to happen for the Abata service program. So number one, application. So guys, for you to apply, you just click on this application link. Okay. So Toby, I'm going to send you the application link now. I don't know. Can I share screen so that I will just go through the application link with us? Can I share my browser so I'll just go on the site directly and just input the application?
Yes, you can share your screen, Principal.
No, not my screen. I mean, like, I want to go on the site. Can I go outside the presentation?
Yes, you can make use of the share present button to present the window on your system.
Okay, all right. So I'm sending it to you. Okay, so I will also go and check. Just a minute, guys. Okay, so I want us to go through the process step by step, and it should take just less than 5 minutes to 10 minutes for us to complete the process. Okay, so let's go through the process step by step. So first, Toby, let me know if you are still seeing my screen. All right. So I want to stop sharing screen, Toby. I want to share my. Let me stop this one. How can I stop this one? Remove. Okay. So share screen. So I want to share my screen now. I'm sure you guys can see my screen. Okay, so I'm just going to go straight to the Abata Health Service pilot program. Oh, no. No, that's not it. Okay, so guys, this is the site. Let me go and see if I can still hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, that's fine. So this is the site, right? Toby is going to put this exactly. So the site is on the school message. So yeah, so basically when you come on this site, what you want to do is to just look at Abata Healthcare Service, keep scrolling down, and you're going to see this point that says, join our nursing talent network. Okay, can you see it? It says, join our nursing talent network. This is where we're going to click. Okay, so click join nursing talent network. Once you click on it, you're going to see the next page. You're going to see the next page is loading. All right. So now they're going to ask you for your name. Okay. So let's just quickly complete this. So let's say my name is Dio Obioma. My first name is Dio. Then my last name is Obioma. Okay. Yeah. The next thing is that you want to close. So next you want to put your email address. Okay. So let's put @gmail.com. Okay. @gmail.com. So just confirm email, same thing. @gmail.com. Okay, so this is email. All right. So next thing you're going to ask you is that, are you currently employed or have you previously been employed by Abata Health Service? No, because you've never worked in Canada before. You've never worked in Abata. So you're going to put, I have never been employed by Abata Health Service. Guys, I've never been employed. That's the option you're going to tick. Okay. I'm sure people can see the option there. I've never been employed by Abata Health Service. So you click that. So they're going to ask you, by career education, what's your profession? Are you a registered nurse? Registered psychiatric nurse, nurse professional, nurse aide. You are a registered nurse from Nigeria. So you click what? Registered nurse. Okay. So next, we're going to press continue. We're going to press continue. All right. So now they're going to ask you, what is the best number to reach you? Okay. So guys, at this point, you must input your country code. Okay. So +234. Let me just put random number +234. Okay. All right. The next thing, please indicate your eligibility to work in Canada. So you're going to choose I require sponsorship. Okay. You're going to choose I require sponsorship to work in Canada. Okay. I require sponsorship to work in Canada. Country of citizenship. Okay. So basically, you just put your Nigeria. That's where you were born, a citizen of Nigeria. That's the passport you're using to apply. So even if you are living in Dubai, even if you are living in England, your country of citizenship is what? Nigeria, because you're applying with your Nigerian passport. So don't make that mistake. Current country of residence. So it is this place you're now going to write, I'm in England. So you now write, okay, current country of residence, I'm in England. All right. So you put England there. Those of you in NHS. So if you're in Nigeria, you put Nigeria. So next thing I'm going to ask you is, have you successfully completed a Bachelor of Nursing? So you're going to put no or yes. So again, I believe with this segment, those with Bachelor of Nursing might have advantage. But anyway, if we move further down, you realize that it might not actually be entirely true. So let's click yes. Next step is, do you have an active registered nursing license or permits in Canada? No, you don't have license in Canada. Are you currently registered as a registered nurse in any other country? Yes. You are registered as a nurse in where? In England. If you have NMC band, if you are a registered nurse in England, you put England. If you're a registered nurse in Nigeria, you put what? Nigeria. Okay. So next step is, have you applied to the NNAS service before to verify your credential? Remind that, guys, NNAS is very, very important. So if you've completed if you've applied for NNAS, if you've paid for it, you are expected to actually put yes. But I believe many people from Nigeria have not started NNAS. So what you put here is what? No. You've not started your NNAS. Have you applied to WES? WES is a verification body. Click no. You've not applied to WES. Have you applied to the nursing college in Abata? No, I have not applied. I'm in Nigeria. Do you currently have an open file with any other nursing province? For example, are you actively registered in Ontario? Put no. Do you have BLS certificate? Guys, go and get your BLS certificate. There are free websites online to get BLS certificates. Okay, right? Yes, because you should have down. You don't want to now start giving yourself reason for them not to pick you. Everybody should have BLS certificate from Nigeria. Have you graduated from a full-term nursing education program taught in English in 2 years? Yes. With this one, you're likely to waive IELTS. Have you practiced nursing in English in the last 3 years? Yes. With this one, you're going to waive IELTS. Okay. So next thing is what? Upload file. Here you are expected to upload your resume, your CV. All right. Upload your CV. So guys, before you start filling this form, you should ensure you have your CV actively saved or downloaded on your mobile device, on your personal computer, because you cannot leave this site and come back. If you come back, the site will actually it will close and you cannot apply again except you open a new email. Okay. So you click upload file. Choose the file you want to upload from your resume. All right. So let's say the file I want to upload is so let's say I want to upload my CV. So this is my CV. So once you choose the file, you must also click upload the file. So you see now your file was what? Uploaded successfully. So any other additional information, just put nil. Okay. So next you're going to see sharing concepts. How did you find about this opportunity? Empower Nurses Consult webinar. Empower Nurses Consult webinar. All right. So next thing you want to do is by clicking this box, I declare that I understand the concept. So you just click this plus box here. This plus box, you click the plus box, right? So once you click the pause button, next you're going to do is what? You click submit my application. But before then, you must provide today's date. Today's date is 2023 04 08. Okay, today. Then next is what? Submit my application, guys. So let's see. Guys, in less than 10 minutes, your application has been submitted, okay? So information, application has been submitted, and you can see that your application is on its way. So most likely, you're going to receive an email on your email. Okay, we've received your email for Abata Health Service Pilot Program. So let's go to my one of the emails I used. Okay, so usually they're going to send you an email that they received your application, and that's that. So yeah, go back to StreamYards, and we'll continue sharing with our PowerPoint presentation. So guys, in less than 10 minutes, we can see that that has been sorted. So guys, go on the link on your screen and go and start your application, okay? Go on the link on the screen and go and start your application, all right? Somebody say your screen isn't clear, I beg. Please, guys, take some minute to like this video. Okay, yeah, so if the screen is not clear, if you have any questions or concern, I think the screen was clear from my end. And yeah, if you have any clarification or concern, you can just reach out to us. I will be able to help you with the process, okay? Or the information you must have missed by not getting a clear screen. Yeah, somebody is asking, is there a format for CV? Yes. So your CV must be standard. Standard basically means it should be able to carry or contain the major component of a CV, your professional summary, your valid email address, your years of experience with your job responsibility, career interest, professional certification, career achievements, and of course, referee should not be there, should be provided on request. But basically, upon notice consult, we have a service to support nurses to actually help with their CV review, CV writing. So if you need our help with that, definitely you can just reach out to us. Toby, you can put my Nigeria WhatsApp number or our email address so that they can actually reach us for CV. So Toby, just put that on the screen now. 07069646143. That's our hotline for our Nigeria contact. With that, you can get your CV updated, and our turnaround time is 3 working days. Okay, but if you want express service, we also provide express service as well. So yeah, that's for CV. So we can help you with your CV review. So yeah, guys, the application takes less than 10 minutes. The difference between where you are in Nigeria and Abata is just 10 minutes registration on this site. 10 minutes registration. As you saw it was not difficult for anybody to move on with that. So yeah, this is the roadmap. Number one, once you finish that application, the next thing that will happen is that you're going to receive shortlist notification. Remember, when I started this presentation, I showed us some of the shortlist information that people have received. Look at people, right? See people that have received information. Good evening, boss. I applied for the Abata International Service Program, and I got a message that I'm shortlisted. Okay? I got a message that I'm shortlisted. People are receiving notification from their profile. Good evening, sir. I'm here to testify to I applied for the Abata Pilot Program, and I'm in the stage of NNES. You can imagine, just from applying from our WhatsApp platform. More testimonials. Good afternoon, boss. Thank you for all you do. Please have been shortlisted too. Congratulations. More and more people are coming on my DM daily on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Guys are taking advantage of this opportunity. So please do not miss out, guys. Do not miss out. This is an opportunity of a life. And guess what? This is a pilot program. A pilot program means if they are taking 10,000 nurses this year, they are going to have an evaluation of the program, of the project. Did the resources that we spend on this project, did it meet the demand of our workforce that we want to improve in Abata? So there's going to be a lot of policy, advocacy, and things coming together that might say, okay, let us sustain and retain this project. So we say, oh no, it does not work. Let us focus on another alternative. So guys, this might be the first and the last that you see an opportunity to be sponsored to Canada. It has never happened. We have never had, we've never seen where a government will sponsor the nursing registration of a nurse. sponsor your relocation, and give you a work permit. It has never happened in Canada. This is the first of its kind. So guys, jump on that WhatsApp link. Toby, you've not posted the mobile number for the CV review on our email. So guys are getting people are getting notification daily. You can see them shortlisted email. People are taking advantage of the opportunity, right? So yeah, so we'll move back on to the registration process and the stages. Could you give a rundown of the presentation? I'm just joining. Wow. The goal is to stay wicked, right? You should give it for you alone. I mean, those are no questions you should ask now. I mean, you can actually come back to the channel and watch the replay. Okay, we can't come back to give the presentation for you, Your Royal Highness, man. So again, the process for the application, once you apply, you're going to receive the shortlist notification that, okay, you've been shortlisted for the program. And yeah, then they're going to send you a link to start your criminal record check. You're going to start your credential evaluation. So if you've not started NNES, they're going to give you a prepaid link, like I advised. They're going to give you a prepaid link where your NNES has been paid for. It's just like somebody giving you a prepaid voucher to get an item, or an Amazon card or an Amazon gift card to get anything you want. Just take the gift card to the shop, collect your item. You are not paying any money because the card has been paid already. Same thing with this one. So just click on the prepaid link that will be sent to you and start your NNS process for free. Automatically, you are waiving 400,000. So once you're done with your verification, stage 3 is that you're going to receive CNRA application form. Okay. So they're going to ask you for application form to start, because you're going to register to become a licensed nurse under College of Registered Nurses of Alberta. Because in Canada, like I explained before, for those that didn't join ND, nursing registration is done province by province. As a nurse in Alberta, you cannot just walk in and start working in Ontario. As a nurse in Ontario, you cannot just walk in and start working in Saskatchewan. As a nurse in Saskatchewan, you cannot just stroll into British Columbia and start working. As a nurse in British Columbia, you cannot stroll into Quebec and start practicing. As a nurse in Quebec, you cannot stroll into Manitoba and start working. The process is that complicated here in Canada. Unlike in England, with your Band 5 license, you can do agency anywhere, from Bristol to Leeds to Manchester to anywhere you want to go, to Liverpool, anywhere you want to go. You can work anywhere. Your England license covers the entire UK, but in Canada, it is state by state. Okay, just like in USA, Texas Board of Nursing, New York Board of Nursing, they have their own jurisdiction for their licensure. So this application is centered on Alberta. Again, if you know you don't want to work in Alberta, or you probably do not have anything to do in Alberta, you don't like Alberta for any reason, please do not start this process, because once you start this process, it is Alberta you must work. You must work in Alberta. Okay, so please, you must also put that in mind. All right. So after you get your CRN application, you're going to receive your employment details. So at this time, they're going to start having a phone call interview with you, just to check on you. Okay, let us confirm if you are ready for this employment, just to do like a small brisk interview, assess your clinical skill, and just say, okay, yeah, whether you're ready or not. But at this point, they're not going to turn you down. Do you know why? Because number one, they've already paid for your NNES here. They've already paid for your NCLEX already. If you've not written, okay, they've already paid for they've already sent link for your criminal record check. So they are not going to start asking you to stop working at this point. Okay, so this point is basically just to candidate profile and travel preparation question. Okay, how are you preparing? What do you need? Warm clothing. Do you have these are type of warm clothing you need to bring to Canada? This is the season we experience in Canada. For fall, this type of clothes you wear. For winter, this type of clothes you wear, and stuff like that. All right. So yeah. So form interview and of course BLS certification. These are things you need to start getting ready. All right. The next thing start getting for number 5 is immigration. So for immigration, you're going to need your medical examination report, police character test, you gather your documents, and like I said before, then part 7, which is the most interesting part, guys, you are going to arrive in Edmonton, Alberta. Okay? Say Nigerians go food for Alberta. If you shout LOP everywhere, go boss. Yeah, guys. So let us create history together. Let us create this. Let us continue to inspire ourselves. Let's build the momentum. And of course, that's why I'm here today. I was just telling Toby this morning that the time here is 2 p.m. I've been up since 9 a.m. drafting this presentation. In short, this idea of this avatar work, it just came up with me yesterday. Like, because people have been coming on my DM, Prince with this, Prince. I said, oh my God, what can we actually do about this? So we just, okay, yesterday I just reached out to my designer, create some flyers for this program. I reached out to my media man, Toby, create a link. Let's have this program set up and everything. And this morning, since 7 a.m., I started drafting that article, creating this PowerPoint presentation. I've been here creating this presentation for the past 4 hours to actually make it very, very explicit. So I did all of this just this morning, and of course, I've never even had breakfast. So yeah, we are here trying to share and make it clear to as much as to many of us. All right. So step 7 is you're going to arrive in Edmonton, Alberta. All right, you're going to arrive in Edmonton, Alberta, and you're going to receive airport pickup and transportation. Okay, this is Nigerian problem. This is Nigerian problem. There is a link now. There is a link that you can apply in only 10 minutes. Guess some people are already asking, when is the deadline? We want the deadline to be closed before we actually apply. Why are you waiting for a deadline when you can apply today? The only reason that will stop you from not applying today is if your CV is not ready. And like I said, we can help you fix your CV if you want express service, if you want in 3 working days. So guys, resist the urge to start asking questions like, when is the deadline? Rather, ask yourself, why should I not do this thing today? What is the excuse for you not logging into this site today? So guys, log into this site. Like I'll show you feedback. Who are getting shortlisted already? This is Canada. Oh. So take advantage, right? So step 7, you arrive in Edmonton, you get your airport pickup and transportation, accommodation will be provided, and in-person orientation. So yeah, they're going to be giving you orientation so that you'll be able to acclimatize yourself with the environment, equip training, and of course, basically, just like we do in England, they kind of put you in supernumerary position and they train you for some week, all right? Then after they train you at their site center, you are then going to move to the employment site. Employment site means your primary place of assignment, the hospital Gongo in Abata that is employing you. Remember, Abata is a government, and they have various government hospitals. Just like in Lagos, we have General Hospital Mushin, General Hospital Bagada, General Hospital Alimosho, General Hospital Igondo, General Hospital Lekki. So you're not going to be moving to your own general hospital in Abata after you've received your own in-person training. All right. So then you're going to start your site preparation and program, and then you're going to start practicing your football. So this is the part I want us to see. Number 1, you need to, if you arrive if you arrive, so this part shows that, guys, this part shows that what they said here in chapter 3, look at it, chapter 3, it says, AHS will send you a link when you are ready to begin your application to pass your NCLEX. Meaning, if you've not passed your NCLEX from Nigeria, and you tell them, there's no NCLEX center in Nigeria, it does not reduce your chances of benefiting from this application. Okay? If you've not passed your NCLEX, trust me, you have the chance to also benefit from this application. So look at what they say here. See what they say here in chapter 10. You're going to complete your remaining licensure requirement and complete your NCLEX, because it means that you can complete your NCLEX on arrival, right? You can complete your NCLEX on arrival, all right? So you're going to have 8 to 12 weeks for specialty practice period if you're a perioperative nurse, if you're an intensive care nurse, a emergency room nurse, ophthalmic nurse. This is 8 to 12 weeks you're going to need to have extra support to learn the curriculum and SOP for that practice. Then you start practicing full mode. Okay, so yeah, so basically that's it. Estimated period is 2 to 8 months, like they've rightly mentioned. Look at it here. Number 5. Look at number 5. Immigration in bracket 2 to 8 months. Okay, 2 to 8 months for international applicant. All right. So yeah. So that's that for the Abata Health Pilot Program. I've been able to explain frequently asked questions. I've been able to show you some of the people that have passed the program. I've been able to show you testimony. It is not scam. It is not fake. It is real. Okay. I'll also be able to tell you, give a brief introduction about the program, and of course, yeah. So this is where we are, and at this point, we just want to take some few questions. So if you have any question, quickly put it on the question box, so that we can take questions before we move to the next part. The next part is about work permit in Canada. All right. So let's get your question. Let's get your question. I've really missed the detail. There's going to be replay on this channel. Okay, there's going to be play on this channel. Click on the like, subscribe button, and at your free time, you can come back and get all the information. It's going to be saved here on YouTube. All right. Is SEBAN exam taken in Nigeria? Yes. We have SEBAN exam center in Nigeria. It was just introduced last year, and the exam is $395. Again, if you take the SEBAN exam, you are going to be refunded. Okay, you must pay for the exam, but they are going to pay for it back when you start the process. But they don't refund for IELTS, like I said. Can you bring your family? We've answered all this question. Can a registered nurse get a BSc certificate? Can a registered nurse get a BSc certificate? Of course, you can get a BSc certificate. You are, as a registered nurse, you can get a degree, master's, or PhD. I did not get an email of confirmation. Should I be worried? No. After application for this, will you still be eligible to apply for Nova Scotia email? Look at the question that you're asking now. After they sponsor you, they pay for your NNES, they pay for your NCLEX exam, they pay for your transportation, your sponsorship. They ask you to come and apply for Nova Scotia email. They won't go allow you because number one, your NNES that you will need to apply in Nova Scotia, they are going to make sure that it is only Alberta you can use it for. You can't. So that's why you must sign an agreement with these people that, okay, I'm going to be working with them. All right. Please, what is SEBAN? SEBAN is an English test. SEBAN is an English alternative to IELTS. Just like in England, if you don't want to write IELTS, you write OET. So in Canada, if you don't want to write IELTS, you write SEBAN. SEBAN is perceived to be much more specific to people in healthcare, just like OET, and it's much more easier, perceived to be easier. And the government of Alberta have a collaborative, they have an MOU with SEBAN to be able to work together to reimburse people that have paid for the exam. My passport is expiring in October. Can I apply? Yes, you can apply. No, there's no point in application they're going to ask you for your passport. But again, once you apply, do not sit at home. Go and start looking for how to commence the renewal of your passport. All right. Can I reapply if there's an error on the first application? Secondly, if there's an error in the first application, yes, you can reapply, but you cannot reapply with the same email because the link will not be accessible to you. Okay, the link will not be accessible to you. You need to create a new email to apply. It must not be a business email, it must be a personal email. You can create a Gmail, a Yahoo Mail, whatever you want. Okay, is there any advantage? Is there any advantage nursing specialty such as psychiatry has? At this point, I would advise you to keep away your nursing specialty and project your registered nursing qualification. Okay. If they ask you, what are you applying for? Registered nurse, registered psychiatric nurse, or nursing aid or perioperative nurse. The pilot program, the money that government officials are releasing is to bring in more nurses. Their attention right now is general nurses. So I think they are going to prioritize your application if you are a general nurse. You are a specialty nurse. The process of transitioning to become a specialty nurse in that province might be complicated. So I will advise you, stick to your general nursing, stick to your degree rather than coming to say I want to apply as a registered perioperative nurse. I must practice perioperative nursing. I must practice mental health nursing. You need to come in first as a general nurse. When you now settled first, you can now start taking the opportunity to start navigating how to become a perioperative nurse or psychiatry nurse. Please, what is the band score for IELTS? Okay, we'll talk about the band score for IELTS already. It's here. I think these are people that didn't come early. Band score for IELTS, just a minute. We posted it before. IELTS band score. So this is it. So you must write IELTS Academic, listening 7, speaking 7, reading 6.5, writing 6.5. Thank you, Prince Will. Please, will you talk about Nova Scotia today? My question is about that. You can ask your question you have about Nova Scotia. We're talking about everything. Okay. Any more question? Nosdio, thank you. Nosdio is helping me on the comment section. All right, and Nosdio is giving answers to some of the questions. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe Toby, you want to just put in the let me see. Can I do that by myself here from chat box? Put in the IELTS requirement because some people might not get that. Anyway, you can screenshot it and you can only check that. Can someone with just arrow and apply? Yes, you can apply. Talk about Essential Recruit is on my YouTube channel. The video is there. How much your service for CV review? The best place to ask about a service that you desire is not in a public place. It is in a private place. You've seen the phone number on the screen. Reach out to that phone number and ask for the price. You don't ask for something that is dead to you in a marketplace. You ask in silence, in quiet, and of course, in private or formally for something that is really, really dear to you. Okay, so let us try and manage that information. Is there any BLS training coming soon in Benin? You must not be in Benin to do BLS. Gone are the days where you must do face-to-face BLS, but now internet technology has made things easy. You can get BLS for free from some websites, NACPS, Medgito. A lot of them are there. But if you want to do face-to-face, you can also message our number 234. We can refer you to some of the AHA accredited sites in Lagos, in Edo State and Benin City, where you can actually get your BLS done. You can do BLS online, yes. Nosdio, please, can I get your contact for what? Please, did I advertise anything about Nosdio that people are looking for Nosdio? Go on Instagram and follow Nosdio. Go on YouTube, follow Nosdio. So I don't know why I mean, you don't expect her to drop her contact on the public comment section. You're not a family member, you're not a church member, you shouldn't expect her to do that. All right. I was not able to upload my CV before it is closed. What can I do? You need to open a new email address to start a new application. All right. You need to open a new email address to start a new application. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think that's that for the question. So we'll go straight to the next one. Remember, I said we'll have just 90 minutes for this. I've spent 1 hour already, remaining 1 hour 15 minutes. So we have 15 more minutes for this. Okay. So Canada work permit for international educated nurses. Can a nurse who have worked for almost a year in an English-speaking country require IELTS? So the condition for you not to take IELTS are: number one, you should have graduated from a school of nursing or from a nursing degree program in an English-speaking country in the last 2 years. Meaning, if you finish from School of Nursing 2022, you are eligible. If you finish from your BSc 2021, you are eligible. And number three, if you've had at least 3 consistent years of practice as a registered nurse in the past 3 years, like 2023, 2022, 2021, you'll be working as a registered nurse in an English-speaking country, then you do not require the English examination. Okay? All right, so let's move to Canada work permit. Yeah, so while we know that a Alberta Health Service Program is very, very important, it's also useful for us to introduce new options, okay, for people who might not be able to navigate Alberta Health Service Program. Number one, Alberta Health Pilot Program cannot accommodate all the nurses from Nigeria. As of today, we have over 200,000 registered nurses from Nigeria. That's even more than the nurses in Alberta. So there's no way And it's not only from Nigeria. The Abata Service Program is not for nurses in Nigeria. It's for nurses from Australia, from UK, from USA, from New Zealand, from Jamaica, from Nigeria, from Philippines, from India to apply. It's not only for those in Nigeria. Okay, so it's not possible that everybody in Nigeria will get the Abata Service Pilot Program. But start and put your best foot forward. You never can know until you try. You never know until you try, right? So why some people also might, number one is that everybody might not be able to get a Abata Service Pilot Program sponsorship. Everybody cannot get it. Number two, some people might not want to practice in Abata. Some people do not want to have a contract where they will go to Abata. They don't want Abata. They don't like Abata. They don't want anything to do with Abata. They have family in Ontario. They want to go to Saskatchewan. That's where their mom is. Their brother is in British Columbia. Their husband is in Manitoba. So because of that one, I don't want Abata. Take Abata away. Show me another way. So if you are in that category, this is another opportunity for us. So remember, this is not a substitute alternative. This is also a good alternative, right? Okay. So for the Canada work permits, I'm going to talk about the introduction. So basically, what's a work permit? A work permit is a permit that allows individual from one home country to be able to work in Canada. All right. For example, those in England, their tier 2 visa is a work permit. Okay. Those going to the USA, many of them, they go on work permit before they get their green card and of course their permanent residency. So for Canada, there is a silent pathway to becoming to hold a work permit or to get the tier 2 alternative visa in England. All right, many nurses nowadays are coming to Canada via the work permit. Okay, so basically, what's the work permit for Canada? How does it work? So here in Canada, work permit can be issued to professionals and individuals who have a set of skill or who are professionals and licensed in a particular field. For example, if you are a nurse, you are eligible for an open work permit. If you are a carpenter, if you are a building construction personnel, you are eligible for a work permit. If you are into IT, if you are into farming, agriculture, you're eligible for a work permit. If you are into food processing, if you are into hospitality and management, if you are into child care, you are a nanny, you are a home support worker, eligible for a work permit. Okay, so just like in England, if you check gov.uk, you're going to see what we call shortage occupation list. Shortage occupation list means people who are in this category that study this course or are in this profession are actually allowed to receive sponsorship to work. In Canada, we also have a list, excuse me. In Canada, we also have a list where people can actually apply for work visa. All right. So basically, how do people get work visa in Canada? So there's what we call LMIA, because that's what you're going to be seeing many of these applications. LMIA means Labor Market Impact Assessment. Okay, so let's streamline it down to healthcare and nurse. Let's say, for example, Prince William, I have a company in Canada, or let's say I have an organization in Canada. Let's say Empower Nurses Care Home, or let's just say ENC Care Home, ENC Nursing Home, or ENC Care Home. ENC Nursing Home in Canada have the opportunity to bring in nurses to come and work in Canada from any part of the world, as long as they meet a requirement called LMIA. So for me now, for me to meet that LMIA, I'm going to say, okay, I made an advertisement on this government website, and I'm looking for nurses to come and work in my organization. I'm looking for personal support workers. After 30 days or after 90 days of applying, we requested for 5 nurses. We didn't get 5. We only got 2. And those 2, they said they cannot stay because the place is far from their home and it's a rural area. that they cannot manage it, the environment. So because of that, we are left with no nurse again. So the Canada government will say, okay, please kindly fill this LMI form. LMI form means that labor market impact assessment. What will be the impact on the employability status of Canadians who are permanent residents or temporary residents or citizens if you bring in more people from outside Canada? This is a country that love their citizens. This is a country that have system in place. You cannot just bring in people to come and start working like that. Anybody you are bringing, there must be a case for it that, okay, we have seen that there's not going to be any negative impact to the citizens of Canada, to the permanent residents of Canada if you bring in these people from their home country. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, we've done the assessment. We've seen that your company has passed all the requirements, and now you cannot hire from another country. They must go through that assessment before they can hire. That's why it is very, very difficult for you to see work permit job application there. I will tell you how to get the work permit application. All right. Okay, Oza Woods, I can see your question. Just keep listening. I'm going to get to that part. So yeah, so when the government approve you to get the work permit, it now means that ENC nursing home can now bring in nurses from Nigeria, nurses from India, nurses from Philippines to be able to work in Canada directly. But they are not going to start working as nurses. Of course, they don't have the registration as nurses. They're going to work as what? Allied health professionals. So, for example, if they bring you as a nurse, let's say they bring Fumi to Canada from Nigeria, Fumi is going to work as a PSW or as a nurse assistant. Just like in England, if they bring you as from Nigeria, you're going to work as Band first, clinical support worker, until you pass your OSCE exam. So they're going to bring you with your work permit. You're going to work as a PSW until you pass your registration to become a nurse in Canada. I'm going to explain how to get the process there. So yeah, so there are two types of work permit. The first type of work permit is called open work permit. Open work permit means ENC care home or ENC nursing home will say, okay, I want these people that I'm bringing to have an open work. Open work permit means if I bring Fumi to Canada, Fumi has the right to say, after 3 months, I don't like the way this place is. The place is just so quiet. It's so far from the urban area. It's just kind of rural, and I don't like working in rural environment. I didn't know it's going to be a rural environment, and I don't think I'll be able to stay anymore. Please, I want to go and look for another work somewhere else, another job somewhere else. Automatically, Fumi is allowed to look for another job, irrespective of the number of months or years she has worked, because she has what? Open work permit. Number two, which is the most popular one, is called closed work permit. And I'm going to explain why closed work permit is very, very popular. Remember, this employer have searched and searched and searched for people to come and work with them. They did not see. They want to go and invite Canada government to say, CEO, we didn't see any employer. So do you think that employer now will now bring somebody from Nigeria and say, you can go anytime you want to go? No. They're going to make it an employer-specific work permit for you, meaning you can only work with them for a period of 1 year or 2 years. After that, you must have gotten your permanent residency, and then you can start getting your own job somewhere else. But in the meantime, for this 1 year or 2 years, depending on the years of contract, it's usually 1 to 2 years. Okay, for the work permit, so 1 to 2 years for the work permit. So they'll tell you, okay, if you work with us for 2 years, after 2 years you can work with any other companies, because I mean they spend a lot of money in bringing you over, the recruitment and everything. So they have more closed work permit jobs in Canada than open work permit. So closed work permit it's also usually called employer specific work permit. Okay, employer specific work permit. So yeah, so who can apply for the work permit? As a nurse in Nigeria, as long as you have your registered license, okay, if you are licensed by NMCL, you can apply for the work permit. Although if you are not a nurse, other category of people can apply for work permit. I mean, like I mentioned, bankers, caregivers, nanny, construction workers, tech experts, they can apply for work permit. Our concentration is for nurses. So as a nurse, you can apply for a work permit as long as you have at least 1 year experience in nursing and you have a valid license. Okay, 1 year experience in nursing and you have a valid license. Then the next thing is that what jobs can you find outside Nigeria? So for if you're coming as a nurse outside Nigeria, you're not going to work as a nurse immediately. They want to start working, like I said, as an allied healthcare worker, either as a personal support worker or a home support worker, as a care assistant, until you complete your registration to become a registered nurse in that province. And guess what? If, for example, ENC Nursing Home recruits Fumi from Nigeria as a PSW, like she's a nurse and she's coming as a title of PSW. If Fumi completes her RON licensure process, her offer letter will be upgraded under ENC Nursing Home to become a registered nurse or registered practical nurse, depending on what she goes for. So there's not like the fact that, okay, if you now have my RON license, will I still stay back as PSW? No. As long as you have your practicing license, your company, which is a healthcare organization, will be able to accommodate your interest as a registered nurse or as an RPN nurse. Okay. So what are the documents required? What are the documents required for the work permit? So usually, I think the work permit is one of the. To be fair, is one of the pathway to Canada where you require less examination or licensure for you to be able to get the permit. The only thing you need to have to get the work permit in Canada most times is your passport, and some few organizations, might ask you for IELTS. But because you already have 1 year experience, which is a compulsory requirement, because you already have 1 year experience working in an English-speaking country, most likely it will be waived. And if you must write IELTS, it's going to be IELTS general, and they require just 5.0 from you. So, I mean, many of those that I know that are here in Canada, they didn't do the IELTS exam, they didn't do the IELTS general, and they are all working right here in Canada. Okay, so you can get where can I get the so the document is number one, you should be a registered nurse, and basically sometimes you might be asked to get your English test, but it's not compulsory. All right, depending on the employer that is requesting for it. Some employer might say, no problem, since you already have experience, it's fine, you can come. Some guys say, okay, just give us 5.0 and we'll start your immigration processing. All right. So where can you get the work permit jobs? So the most popular place to get a work permit job is jobbank.gc.ca. Okay, this is the government of Canada website that is where we are expected to get job for international applicants. Basically, all the jobs in Canada, most of the jobs in Canada are being posted on this government of Canada website, jobbank.gc.ca. Okay, so duration for work permit. Duration for work permit actually varies from country to country. For in Nigeria, for example, it can take some period of months. Okay, sometimes it can take from between 5 months to 9 months. Although in the government website, they might tell you up to 50 weeks. But based on experience and based on what we've seen on ground, it doesn't take more than 9 months, 5 to 9 months. People get it in 5 months, they're already in Canada. In 9 months, they're already in Canada. PSW, what's the full meaning of PSW? PSW means personal support worker. Just like in England, we have CSW, clinical support worker. So it's just different term to represent people who are like assistant nurses or nursing assistants. So basically, it just means nurse assistant, PSW, CSW, CCA, CNA, they are the same nursing assistant stuff. Okay. So duration for work permit, like I said, an average of 5 to 9 months, but government of Canada website will tell you that 50 weeks. But if you're applying from Canada from England, it's actually shorter. Okay. If you're applying from Nigeria, it's long. If you're applying from India, it's approximately 14 weeks. If you're applying from Philippines, approximately 11 weeks. So depending on the country you are actually applying for. Okay. Please, can healthcare assistant apply from Nigeria? Yes. All right. So so let me tell you, if you go on this jobbank.gc.ca, you are most likely you're going to find jobs there. But remember, whatever job you find there, let's say they need a PSW from Nigeria who is a nurse, you have millions and thousands of people applying for that same job. from all over the world, because like I said, the website is not a Nigerian website. It's an international website accessed by your colleagues who are also proficient as you, from England, from Philippines, from Jamaica, from India, from Nepal. They are all applying to the same job like you. But this is what happened. Because let's say ENC nursing consult now, if we put that job on job bank, we're going to receive an overwhelming number of applications and might even crash our email. Let's say we receive like 15,000 applications. What we do instead is that we contract the job application to hiring professionals, immigration consultants, immigration lawyers. So those immigration lawyers use their own skill and expertise and sometimes influence and recommendation to actually say, okay, we are actually shortlisting these people based on their verification of documents, that these people are actually verified, they have the license to actually work in these jobs. So most times the best way, based on my research, the best way to actually get the jobs for employers is from a recruitment consultant or a immigration lawyer. So and for you to get to meet those people, you should be able to at least research online. If you just go on and search for Canada recruitment consultant or Canada immigration lawyer, they have a cycle where this information is being circulated. They can direct you to how to get a job with ease without navigating endlessly, sometimes through the governments of jobbank.gc.ca. Okay, so yeah, that's that about the work permit. Okay, please, can healthcare assistant from Nigeria apply? Of course, yes. Okay, so now let's assume you get the work permit, you've been able to network, you've been able to submit your license, you've been able to submit your application, and now you get the work permit and you're not in Canada. Either open work permit or close work permit. So now that you're not in Canada, the next thing you're going to be looking at is that, okay, how can I transition from working as a PSW, as a nursing assistant, to RON. I want to start pricing back as an RON. Okay, I arrive in Canada with work permit, but I want to continue to work as an RON. So once you arrive in Canada, the process involves 3 stages. Number one, in Ontario, for instance, I'm going to be using Ontario as a case study. If you arrive in Ontario, you have to commence your NNAS. NNAS is a verification access agency that will be able to verify 3 documents. Number one, they're going to verify your license from your School of Nursing. Number two, they're going to verify your education curriculum from your School of Nursing or from a university. If you went to School of Nursing and university, they're going to verify the two. You do not give them option, they must verify the two. So they're also going to verify your work experience, the places that you work in Nigeria. How many hours did you work? They're going to verify all of those things, and the type of job that you work in Canada, right? So NNAS is the first thing you need to do when you arrive in Canada. If you are up, like I said, we are referring to Ontario, or we're going to be concentrating on Ontario for this application. So you do your NNAS, then after you do your NNAS, you get approval to write your NCLEX exam. Yeah, you get approval to write your NCLEX exam. You sit for the NCLEX exam. If you pass, once you pass, you submit your results to College of Nursing Ontario, and automatically they are going to support you to get your licensure within 24 to 72 hours. If you submit your NCLEX exam to Ontario body today and you completed your NNAS assessment, you get your license in 3 to 5 days. All right. Then English Proficiency exam, IELTS Academic. So you need IELTS Academic to apply for College of Nursing Ontario. But sometimes it can be waived. Again, if you have your NAS assessment and your work history showing that you were trained in English. All right. So yeah, so that's that to transition from PSW to RN in Canada. So now you are now on a work permit in Canada. Remember, anybody living in Nigeria want to be able to have a stable fit abroad. You want to be able to be stable, like, okay, I want to have a permanent resident card. In England, we refer it to as ILR, indefinite leave to remain. Okay, so if you want to have an ILRO or a permanent residency card in Canada, it's pretty straightforward. So, number one, the requirement to obtain permanent residency in Canada, if you have a work visa, is that number one, you must have at least 1 year work experience. Okay, you must have at least 1 year work experience before you can apply for permanent residency under the Canada Experience class. In Nigeria, you apply for express entry to the Federal Skilled Worker Program. But if you're already in Canada, to apply for permanent residency, you must work for at least 1 year or 1,500 hours for you to be able to apply for permanent residency. So, for example, if you arrive Canada, this is April 2023. If you arrive Canada April 2023, by April 2024, you are eligible to apply for Canada permanent residency. Okay. I think that's one of the good parts about Canada compared to England. For England, you have to wait for over 5 years for it to achieve that feat, which is one of the reasons why people like Canada, although there are other considerations. So yeah, so what do you need to transition from permanent residency to from temporary residency or work visa to permanent residency? Number one, you are going to do another evaluation again. This time, you are doing evaluation for immigration to become a permanent resident. Remember, evaluation that you do to become a nurse is NNES, but what you do to become a permanent resident is not NNES. NNES is not involved in immigration. NNES is only for nursing licensure. Okay, so now for permanent residency, you're going to be involving, you're going to be kind of some evaluation. So the most popular one is WES evaluation or ICAS or ICES. If you have a nursing degree, the best or the recommended organization to use is WES and CES. Okay, but if you have RN, RM, RPON, the best alternative for you to use, that's if you have the diploma, you don't have a degree, your best alternative should be ICAS or ICES, because these are people that are going to give you a comparable assessment that will be equal to what is needed for your evaluation. Okay, so you're also going to be writing an examination for you to apply for permanent residency. So for permanent residency, the exam you're going to need to write is the English proficiency exam, which is IELTS General. Okay, IELTS General. I mean, you should score good score there for IELTS General testing. They should have at least 1 year work experience, tax record for 1 year, vulnerability sector check, and of course your medical exam. And finally, we're going to talk about the evaluation of the amount required for you to navigate through this process. So for the first assessment, which is your nursing licensure assessment, NNAS, you are required to pay $650. Then for you to get verification to write NCLEX, you need to pay for CGNFS, which costs $500. And for you to get verification again, for you to be eligible for permanent residency, you need to pay $240. Okay. Then you're going to pay for NCLEX exam, $200. You're going to pay for IELTS when you arrive here, which is like $300 Canadian dollar. But the good part is that while in Canada, you're already earning all this money. You're not going to pay it at once. Some of them you have to pay it once in 3 months, once in 2 months, and you have credit card. So these are not challenges for when you're already in Canada. It's only when you're outside Canada these things are a problem for you. So yeah, these are the total amount you need to pay for you to become an RON and to become a permanent resident in Canada. We've exceeded the 90 minutes mark. Yeah. So at this point, I'll be happy to receive further questions. So if we have more questions, please put them on the chat box. I think we'll be able to cover, to a large extent, some areas of concern, some gray areas, and some areas that has recently been popping up on our DM for nurses from Nigeria. So guys, this is the point for you to ask question. You can put it on the comment section, or you can use the question and answer box. I'll be definitely happy to respond to your questions. Okay. Can you suggest an immigration lawyer or immigration consultant? Yes. Our WhatsApp number is on the screen. Reach out to us. We can recommend immigration consultant to you that you can verify from Canada government website. So we can verify to you. We can recommend to you, and just reach out to us on the WhatsApp number. With the work permit come with sponsorship, of course. Work permit automatically means that you are being sponsored to come to work in Canada. So yeah, you're sponsored already. How long is the initial contract with Abata? I don't know about how long is the initial contract with Abata, but like I said, irrespective of the contract, there is this clause that we need to know as nurses and those from Nigeria. If you sign a contract, probably because of desperation, or probably because you were not well informed, and you sign the contract, and now you are not happy with the terms and conditions of what you've seen on ground, the reality what you've seen, there is a law against what is to call this thing? It has escaped me, but generally, this is not the era of slavery where you have to serve your master and you cannot leave. No, there's what we call an exit clause for every contract. For every contractual agreement, there's what we call an exit clause. Just like in NHS, if you're working in NHS and you say, okay, you got 3 years permit or 3 years sponsorship, if after 1 year or after 9 months you don't like it, you are feeling so stressed, it's affecting your mental health, you feel like this is not what you signed up for, they told you 1 to 4 patients, you are now seeing 1 to 12 patients, you can reach out to the hiring professional, you can reach out to the human resource manager and speak with them and say, please, I would like to send in my resignation. They're going to say, but remember you signed 2 years. Say, yes. I also understand that the exit clause states that if I must leave after 6 months or after 1 year, I have to pay back so amount. I'm ready to pay back the amount and also leave after this. So I'm going to be paying the amount in the next 6 months so that I can go once you complete 1 year. So there's a contractual agreement. So there's no contract in the world that you cannot come out from. In 2023, labor law support that a contract must have an exit clause. Nobody can tie anybody down. It's just that you are expected as an individual to think critically before accepting an opportunity. But if the opportunity does not go well and fine, you can exit the contract. But when we now start having a vast majority of Nigerians, vast majority of people taking the job after 6 months, after 1 year, because they now hear that, let's say Abata is paying nurses their $40 per hour. They now hear that, oh, Newfoundland is paying $70 per hour. Everybody wants to resign from Abata and go to Newfoundland. And people that are resigning, they're going to check the statistics and figures. These people are Nigerians. That's going to cause a negative effect towards further consideration of Nigerians for such project for sponsorship. So we want to also ask us to be very, very reasonable and, of course, to be considerate of the level of funding, the time and energy that has been invested into your mobilization and recruitment. Yeah. Most of the immigration lawyer charges are too high if they know the applicant is a nurse. Well, there's no regulation in the world. There's one of the reasons why lawyers are very, very rich is because there's no legislation, there's no regulation that controls how much a lawyer can charge an applicant. Even if somebody is charging you $2 to apply for work permit, another lawyer can tell you I'm charging $1 million, and the government cannot do anything to that lawyer because it is his professional service fee. It's not regulated. It's not bounded by anybody to say, okay, this is the amount you should take. No. So if you think the lawyer fee is too high, it's your responsibility to now look for another lawyer who will take cheaper fee from you. So it's not enough to complain that the fee is too high. Look for another legal luminarian or representative that can actually get a cheaper service for you if you cannot afford that at this time. Or you could actually do a group consultation. Look for 4 other nurses who want to navigate this pathway, and you guys to pay together and have a Zoom call for 10 or 15, 20 minutes. Okay. So there are many scammers Of course, in every industry there are scammers. Even nurses, they are scammers. I mean, the College of Florida just paraded some nurses who paraded fake certificates, and they're practicing in New Jersey. I'm sorry, is it New Jersey or Florida? Yeah. So the scammers are everywhere in the world. There's scammers. Do we all have? Do we have to have all the money mentioned before coming to Canada? No, no. They have been explained to you in stages and in group. Okay, guys. I'm sure we've been able to do justice to some of the questions today, and from time to time, we'll be able to find out ways to engage more. Nova Scotia is coming by May 1st. And of course, we'll also be trying our best to see how we can help nurses to navigate the Nova Scotia pathway. Okay, so yeah, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and you're going to get much more update on Nova Scotia. But I'm more active on WhatsApp. I mean, I have a WhatsApp platform where I give instantaneous and share instantaneous information. So if you want to join that WhatsApp platform, just the number there on your screen is our number. Just reach out to us, and definitely we'll send you the link to join our WhatsApp platform. We also have consultation. You want to speak to any of us and talk to us about anything, like you want to seek advice and support, you can definitely reach out to us as well, and we can also support you on that. Until then, thank you very much. Toby, are you still there?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. All right. I want to say shout out to Toby. Toby has been behind the screen, helping us with the technical management of this event. And Toby is one of our team member, New Media Empowerment Consult. Max Water, our graphics and media expert as well. Thank you so much. For further questions, please do it to chat us on WhatsApp, and definitely will be happy to answer your question. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Easter and have a beautiful weekend. Thank you.